Okay, so this is a short video on the quote template spreadsheet for the BC QoS quote template spreadsheet matrix. In the wiki, there is a document for that. If you want to find out where it is, you can literally type in quote template. Benson quote template and cost matrix. This is the explanation of how to use it, and this is actually how you access the file. It's in the same place as Benson Essentials, where it's always been. I have it loaded locally, so that way I can just pull it up very simply. What I did is I actually made it very simple for anybody to make a quote. So there's 4 tabs on this. There's an instruction sheet, step 1, step 2, and step 3. Literally, I have stepped out this entire process where it says step 1, you're going to insert this information in, you're going to populate this information in step 1. So in step 1, this is your, basically the behind the scenes of putting together a quote for a customer. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up here and put the customer name. So I'm going to say we're going to work on Fend and Brown. Fend and Brown. Now, the quote number is going to be your ticket number that the customer provided. We don't ever make up a separate number. We don't ever. This is
the ticket that we created.
The ticket that we created. Now, if you're doing multiple quotes for one customer, do ticket number A, ticket number B, ticket number C, etc., etc., etc. So I'm going to pretend that this is 14457 8. That's the quote number. Today's date is 9/26/2018. Preparer, I'm going to put B. That would be your name, whoever it is. System description, I'm going to put on-site PBX system. How's that? Mm-hmm. Now, line 1, you don't ever mess with this type of stuff. I have locked this, so this can't be changed. Okay? The only thing that's changeable is this stuff right in here. That's the only thing that's changeable within this shelf spreadsheet. That way nothing else can be changed anymore. So this is, let's just say, we're going to say we've got 15
SIP phones.
Yep, SIP phones. We're going to say 1 yeah, I was going to say main office phone. How's that sound?
Oh, there you go.
Or switchboard.
Yeah.
Main switchboard.
Reception switchboard phone.
Yep. And we're going to say on-site PBX server with. Then what we're going to say is I'm going to skip a space on here, and we're going to say we put on-site. We'll say off-site. How's that? Off-site. Failover. Server on hand. I'm just going to put that on there, for example. Okay, so then these are one-time charges. So our cost for the 15 phones is, what was it, like $750? Okay, that's our cost. So what you want to put in here is our cost. So you can put date and location if you need to find, if you, let's say for example you found this link on the website, on a website somewhere, you can link back to
where that's a good idea.
The main switchboard phone, let's say it's going to cost $200 or $100. The main PBX server, I'm going to say it's going to cost us $750. Just making up this number. So the offsite failover server on hand, we're not charging them for a secondary server because we'll eventually have a system set up where we can just deploy out a brand new box to them. But what we are going to do is we're going to charge them monthly for that package, and we're going to say it's going to be $99.99. See the difference on the one-time charges versus the monthly charges? So the way that it appears now is I've got two totals. I've got a $1,600 total and a $99.99 total. Now those are our costs for that. Okay? Once we have that done, I'm going to come over to step 2. See where that $1,600 is the same as this $1,600?
Mhm.
This is now locked. You can't change anything on this. Okay, so if you want to put a number in here, you're going to have to come into this here and put that in there. So you can break that all out. It automatically transfers it over here. So this is your charge your customer, this is with warranty. All quotes that we provide out the door are going to be with warranty on it. So if they are BCMP or versus RCMP and BCMP warranty. So what I have done is I just wanted to put this on here so everybody was familiar with, so we can kind of break that out. This way, if you're giving a quote over the phone, this stuff you can be done at this screen. Okay. Step 3 is the printout copy that we give to a customer. So this screen, you can see if I zoom out, see how there's an actual place where they can accept it, quote accept it, and all you have to do is just go to File and Print, and it's done.
No, the prices didn't carry over.
Now the reason why is because, and that's what I wanted to show, right now it shows NA, NA for both of them. Because I haven't told the spreadsheet that there is those charges. So what you do is you back into your equipment at the very top. You can provide information in here. You can put information on this quote here, the contact information. And then what we can put on here is there an NRC charge? Well, yes, there is an NRC charge. So I'm going to put yes.
Which is a non-recurring charge.
Right. Is there an MRC charge? Yes. And there's an MRC, so I'm going to put yes. And are they a BCMP customer? Yes or no? They are. So if I put all that information in there, everything's automatically populated right there.
Nice.
It looks very clean, very professional, and it's out the door. You don't have to do anything. We never put, I'm going to go through here, we never put model numbers of anything we give to a customer on the quote. Ever, 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 ever. It says that right there. Do not put model numbers in the quote. I cannot tell you how many, I would reckon to say close to $1 million in business that I have lost because employees have put model numbers there. And the reason for this is as soon as you give this printed quote, then all of a sudden what somebody else does, oh, these are the model numbers we need to buy. They go to Amazon and type in the model numbers and press enter, and they buy, and it's done. So those type of people I don't want to do. And there's several people that's like, well, we won't buy it like that. Well, I'll tell you this. Maybe 2% of our customers will do that. The other 98% will just take whatever we give them. So now what you can do to solve that is, you notice how like in step 3 it says 15 SIP phones. That really doesn't tell me a lot. But what you could do is see how I say 15 SIP phones? What I could do is I could come in here and say 15 SIP phones, yep, full color display, 5 button speed dial, and I don't know, what other, touchscreen. How's that sound? See how that sounds better?
Mm-hmm.
The thing about it is you realize that now that this is run over, look at what happens on the print quality. See how that has run over? So what you'll need to do is you'll need to adjust this so it does not run over, or put this on a separate line.
Yeah, they don't need to know what we're providing, the service and all
Yeah.
that.
It just boils down to if they get like, well, what, it just says 15 SIP phones. Talk up the product a little bit, but just don't give them a model number.
They search SIM phones, they're going to come up with about 1 billion of them.
They are, and they won't know which ones it is.
$100 to.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be what Summit does for all the research we've done on getting the
Correct.
best product
Well,
and
that's what
everything
Craig
too.
goes, they don't.
Yeah.
They don't. You're absolutely right. So you notice that the quote numbers there, do you notice that the valid till has changed?
Oh, yeah.
10/6.
Yeah.
It automatically puts a date on there that is valid till. If you do not put a valid till date on there, customers think that quote is open-ended. They could come back to me a year from now I say I want to buy this. Well, how many times do you think I've lost my shirt? Because I'm ordering equipment that now costs more money than what it did then. So that's why automatically you just put the date in there. If you try to edit this, you can't edit anything on the screen. Nothing can be edited here. But this is what you print. You never, ever, 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 and it says this here too, send this spreadsheet to anyone. Because if you send this spreadsheet, you're not just sending step 3. You're sending step 1 and step 2, everything.
On the auction have printed PDFs.
Correct.
And that's, they need to know, they need to keep a copy of that on there.
Yes, I would, at that point in time, when you save this, you just put this right on the customer's file. Right, attach it to their notes. Yep. And then that way, you have reference to what you quoted when you quoted it. So the instruction sheet basically goes through step 1. You populate the customer quote number, date, preparer, system description. Populate the following fields. NRC stands for non-reoccurring. Change to yes in all caps. MRC stands for monthly reoccurring. Change to yes in all caps. If they have a reoccurring service plan that we're selling them with that. BCMP is if they are BCMP or not. If they are, then you populate to yes. You cannot leave it blank. If you leave it blank, the formula will not work. And you're going to be saying, why does this say NA? You can populate lines 1 through 20 and do not rename or change. It won't let you anyway. And then you can populate all this information here. D, you populate the amount, the date. You don't have to put the date on there, the location. You don't have to do that. That's only for your notes. So when you actually do that quote or whatever it is. And then step 3, cost matrix, confirm that your prices matches print quality. If you need to print it. If it is under $100, we do not give a printed quote. If it's under $100, you just do a verbal quote. Over $100, you can give a quote. Now I realize that it's not that big a deal. It's just one more step to come to step 3. But then when do you start giving quotes for $4 mice? Now you're printing off a piece of paper. The printer gets jammed. It doesn't work, and you got customers that are ticked because you're giving a quote for $4 mouse. So I mean, you really want to be careful on what you're quoting, because if it's just that, then you know exactly how much it is. What questions do you have? It's pretty simple. I wrote the instruction sheet, I think, as easy as possible. In the wiki, I also documented exactly how to use it, when to use it, rules, and how to get to the location. Do not store this spreadsheet on your computer. Just don't store it. Only
Store it on your drive.
pull it from here every time.
Yep. That updates it.
That's right. That's right. Because I did put a price increase in there. It was a 0.5% price increase. No one will ever notice. But at the same point in time, the last time I did it was 4 years ago. So I figured it was time for gas prices are more expensive now than they were 4 years ago. So in this spreadsheet, it also links to the Benson quote template and how to get to that. What questions do you have? Pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah. If you have problems with more time, or if you're not sure how to add to the notes, Kalen, not to help you. What do you need to do?
What do you think, Eric? Makes sense?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So that's all that I had. Unless there's anything else that you can think of.
Well, do they sign and return the quote back, or how
They
does
can,
that work?
yeah.
Do
That's
you
what a
need
lot. That's what a
signature
lot
on
of them do.
purchases
Yeah.
over?
As soon as they have a signature and purchase and a check, a check really will constitute the same.
As a
As a
agreement,
signature.
okay.
The only
So-
issue is if they say charge it to my account and on auto pay.
Correct. Then it's best to have a signature.
Because it's, well, we didn't approve that.
Yep.
Talk to Gene, well, Gene's known it.
Yep. If I were you, I would get a signature. It's there, pretty simple. I mean, and then when this piece of paper comes back, then we just usually scan it in and put it on their account. So.
Well, tax documents, right?
Then we can go over that, you don't have to do that.
And so when a customer wants a quote for something, we do it. And the reason why this became a modification is it's been needing to be prefixed for a while. I wanted to combine the two documents. together because we had a cost matrix and we had a print copy of the quote template, and I wanted to combine them together. Well, when I'm working on the star-based quote, now was the best time. So I spent, I'd say, about 6 hours working on the spreadsheet yesterday, combining the two. So,
I think that's great.
no other questions? Pretty simple.
How does the star-based thing go?
I've got a couple more things I've got to quote for them yet.